Joining me now, former Congressman, former Donald Trump Chief of Staff, and author of the book, The Chief's Chief, which I would highly recommend. Mark Meadows joins me. Congressman, first and foremost, you're suing Nancy Pelosi and every member of the January 6th committee. You trying to get some money or what?
No, actually, I'm just trying to make sure we uphold the Constitution. You know, what we've found is in over weeks and weeks of trying to actually cooperate with the January 6th committee and help them with non-privileged information while actually protecting the president's executive privilege, we found that they still wanted to delve into a number of discussions that I had with either the president or other senior officials. And beyond that, just the scope of their subpoenas that we found out about in the last 3 or 4 days was just so broad that we felt like that they were not meeting us halfway and actually trying to work in a way that represents and supports the Constitution. So we filed a lawsuit, as you mentioned. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I mean, just to be blunt, I've got President Trump, who I had the honor of serving as his chief of staff, claiming executive privilege. And I've got a congressional committee that is suggesting that I waive that. It's not my privilege to waive, so that's what courts are for, and that's why we filed the lawsuit.
What is the point of this committee? It's clear this stopped being about January 6th a long time ago, and obviously I realize this is a partisan effort to do something. I can't quite figure out, though, what that something is. What do they want out of all this?
Well, I think it's very obvious to a lot of people. I can't actually attach a particular motive to the members of the select committee because I don't know what they're thinking. But I can tell you what other people are telling me. They see this as a partisan effort. This is an effort to do impeachment 3.0, do what they can to actually suggest that President Trump shouldn't run again. And it's sad because a number of us, I know I worked around the clock trying to help them out. If it had a legitimate legislative purpose, obviously we don't condone anything that happened on January 6th. But it seems like it's not about January 6th. It's about other agendas.
Okay, you mentioned them trying to keep Trump from running again. And obviously that's the gigantic elephant in the room. And no one's going to know the answer to that question until he makes a call. But they just beat Donald Trump. Why would they be so worried about Donald Trump running again?
Well, I think, Jesse, there still are questions remaining, as you know, by a lot of people, by no one on the January 6th Commission, but certainly by a lot of Americans across the country in terms of election integrity and where we need to be and how we need to make sure that the ballot box is sacred. And the other part of that is just the sinking poll numbers, as we see for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Their poll numbers among Democrats, unaffiliated, and Republicans alike are on a downward trajectory. And so, perhaps they're looking ahead to 2022 and 2024. All I can suggest is that when you look at the scope of what they're trying to do, and again, I'm letting my attorneys handle the facts of the matter, but in what we filed, it looks at the constitutionality of it and ask in the most certain terms for the courts to weigh in on what the law is. It seems to be ambiguous at best, and hopefully the courts will weigh in.
I'm going to play you a little video from Adam Schiff because I have a question. I think a lot of Americans have this question too. Here's Adam Schiff.
People that have been following the investigation understand the very limited role that the Steele dossier played, and also understand that while we may now know that one of his primary sources was lying to him, it doesn't change Donald Trump's corrupt behavior in 2016.
Congressman, They took a dossier created by the Hillary Clinton campaign, gave it to the FBI, who then used it as all or part of the reason to get a warrant to spy on the political opponent of then President Barack Obama to get a FISA warrant. That is so out of bounds and such an overstep of government power. And I really do worry, once again, nobody is going to pay the price for that at all. That is an egregious overstepping of power.
Well, it is, and Congressman Schiff there talking about how it wasn't, they didn't rely on the dossier, and that was such a small portion of it. Congressman Schiff knows better, and he knows what central role all of that played in that. If anybody should know, he should know, and it's part of that revisionist kind of storytelling, because for the last 4 years, he's been out there talking about the dossier and Russian collusion when obviously that wasn't the case. And it's the kind of attacks that President Trump continued to get and sadly continue to be modified by some that were pushing that narrative more strongly than anybody else.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.